Okay, so this is my program. I won't run it right now. I want to show you where all of my data is first. So this is my database. It's project 2, and these are my 3 tables. So availability is kind of a combination of instructors and sessions, and these are linked by the availability. Has a sessions ID, an instructor's ID, and then a preference. So sessions ID is also in sessions, and instructor's ID is also in instructors, and then preference is something else. Okay, so if you haven't already been understood how the preference system works, the preference is if you're preference 1, then you definitely want the shift. If you're preference 2, then you'd quite like it, but you're not overly fussed if you don't get it. Preference 3 is I'm only really willing to do it if I really have to. And preference 4 is that you definitely can't do it. Really sorry, but that it's just not available for you. So my instructors table has the instructor's name, their date of birth, whether they're lead qualified, and their instructor's ID, which is normally just the 3 first letters of their name, except for this one because Joe has funny initials. And then sessions. So this is the date, the start time, the duration, the number of instructors, the type, and the session ID. So the session ID is just kind of a collection of the day, the date, and the type. The type, the PAYG stands for pay as you go. So that's kind of normal sessions. So they take place every Monday and every Saturday. Parties will be a little bit variable. They're normally on a weekend, and then private really could be any time. There's no kind of catch to say that pay as you go couldn't take place on a Tuesday. So that's not kind of a validation, because in theory they could move it, and I don't want the program to hinder their timetabling. Okay, so this is all the data, and if we just go back into availability, this is all of it. So this is all the availability for Monday down to here. Okay, so all of this is for Monday the 16th. Okay, and as we can see it right now, okay, it says, so if we go on to the sessions table, we can find out how many sessions are needed, how many instructors are needed, and there's 2. And so for availability, if we go back into availability, there are 2 instructors who have a preference 1. So in theory, for Monday the 16th of the 10th, the 2 instructors kind of allocated that session should be Dave and Rob. Okay, and then for the next one, let's see how many instructors we need. So for Saturday the 14th, again we need 2. So there's only 1 instructor with preference 1. So Rob should definitely be doing it. And then the other ones could be Chris, Dave, or Kat. Okay, so that's for Saturday 14th. Then, so this is just like a dry one so that you can see how it all works. So for Saturday the 21st, you only need 1 instructor. So for Saturday the 21st, only 1 has signed up on preference 1, so that should go to Rob. So 28th, that's here, we need 2 instructors. So the 2 instructors will be Rob and either one of these 2, so it should definitely be Rob, and then either Dave or Chris. And that's for Saturday the 28th. Sunday the 15th, There's 2. So sorry, I can't quite see all of it, so I just need to scroll down. So Sunday, so I need 2, so that is going to be, that should be Dave and Kat. Although they're on different settings, those two have the lowest preference settings. So Dave's on a number 1 and Kat's the only instructor on a number 2, so she should get it. And then for Thursday, the 21st, we need 1. So that could go either to Dave or to Rob because they've both said that they can do it. Okay, so that's for Thursday, the 12th. Okay, so the last bit was just a bit of test data, which I'm not actually using, but it was helpful to be in there. Okay, so now I'm going to go across to my program, and we're going to see what this actually comes out with. So first thing I need to check is that I need to make sure that my database is open, which it is, because we've just been on it. So there shouldn't be any issues, so I'm just going to run it. Okay. So this just tells me that my database is open, because if it wasn't, I'd have more of an issue and I need to go and sort it all out because the rest of my program can't run. That's just kind of telling me that that bit's finished. So I've put in these little kind of piece of text just so that I know what's happened. So my program currently has already got all of the data from the database. It's got the sessions data and then it's got the instructors data. So this is the sessions. So it's got how many sessions there are, and then this is just going to list off the session ID of each of those sessions. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is what we had, so that's good. So that bit's now finished, and then when I click again, that's it all done. Okay, so this bit here just tells me that my connection to the database has now been closed again, because if you leave it running, it's a nightmare. So we're just going to check that this matches what we said earlier. So according to my notes, the Monday session should have gone to Dave and Rob, which it has. The Saturday the 14th should have gone to Chris, Dave, Kat or Rob, and it's gone to 2 of them, so that's good. The 21st should have definitely gone to Rob, which it has. The 28th should go to Rob, Dave or Chris, and it has. Sunday the 15th should have gone to Dave and to Kat, which it has. And Thursday the 15th should have gone either to Dave or to Rob, and it's gone to Rob. Now, when I've run this previously, the Thursday the 15th has gone to Dave, so it's not necessarily always going to run because it is random, so it's good that it's doing that. So I'm just going to show you the actual code for this, for my main algorithm, just so that you can see that. So that's here. Okay, so it's called subroutine matching. Okay, and this is the actual thing. So it's for loops with if statements and lots of things within inside one another. There's a recursive call here, which I just thought I'd point out to you. So yeah, so it all jumbles back in together nicely as it should. Okay, so that's my program as it stands at the moment. I have got a user interface which I'm working on currently. It's not finished. I can show you what it looks like. So if I just go... So this is what it's going to look like from the user's end, rather than... so this is the administrators and the instructors. So you can see that you can log in as an instructor or log in as an administrator. So we're just not got any kind of validation on the things yet, so I can literally just click and it will let me through. So I'm literally just navigating. It doesn't work yet, but it will do. So I'm just going to log in as an instructor just so that you can see where that takes you. So you can then add availability, change availability, see all of the sessions, or see the sessions which you've been allocated. Okay, so say you wanted just a list. So we'll do add availability first. So add availability kind of does what it says on the tin. This is, your first port of call for putting your availability in. So this is a drop-down box which will have all of the sessions which you can possibly do in it. And then this is the preference which you're going to do. And obviously, when you've logged in, it will know which instructor's logged in. So this will write directly to the availability page, giving the session ID, your instructor's ID, and the preference. Okay, and then you'll submit that. This is the change availability. So say you've given it a preference 2, and you've now discovered you've got a wedding that weekend. So you now can't do it, so you need to change it to preference 4. This is where you do that. I've put it in a different place purely so that my MySQL statements know what they're supposed to be doing, so that they're updating rather than setting, because otherwise I'll have redundant data in my database and that's not what we want. See all sessions. So this is going to be a list of every single session which can be done. Okay, so this would probably be used before they actually put their availability in, to say so that basically they have a list so that they can go home, check their diary, know exactly what they can do so that they can then put their availability in. And then see my sessions. So once the program has run, this will be an output of all of the sessions which they themselves have been assigned. Okay, it won't give data about other instructors and who they've been, like what other instructors have been assigned. It won't be a full print out of all of the sessions as it stands at the moment. That may change, but for right now, that's what I'm planning on doing. So we'll go back and log in as an administrator this time. So the administrator, they need to be able to add sessions, remove sessions, and add new instructors. So add session. So this is going to be the session date, the duration, the number of instructors, the start time, the session type, which is the drop-down menu again, and the session day. Okay, which is just listing all the days. So these two just stop me from having to validate. These have all been given like the form, so hopefully they will do it in that form. But if not, there will be validation to check that they have. And then again, you just press submit at the bottom and that will automatically go into the database. Remove session. You literally just type in the session ID, click submit, and it will delete it for you. I am thinking of possibly making this a drop-down menu so that I've not got to validate it, so that it can just be done. But it will depend on how well I'm doing on everything else. And add new instructor, this is where, so say a new instructor joins the club, you need to add them to the whole thing. So this is their name, their date of birth, whether they're lead instructor qualified, and their instructor ID. Okay, and then that will just press submit. Okay, so that is the whole thing kind of as it stands at the moment. Obviously, I really need to work on this, but as you can see, all the pages linked together. It's literally just now I've got to put all of like the code behind it. It looks pretty, done with the HTML. Just need to do all the PHP and actually link it into everything. Okay, so hopefully that'll be done within the next kind of week or so. Okay, so that is me done. Now I've just got to figure out how to stop this.